today's edition of Headlines Nigeria on ITI. Join me as we go through the major stories in our national dailies. My name is Grace Ukot, and we'll take a look at the first paper for today. Punch newspaper says Siemens Scam, EFCC summons Adenuga, dead NIS Chief. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on Monday expanded the list of persons for interrogation over the alleged 17 million euro Siemens bribe scam as it summoned the chairman of Globacom, Chief Mike Adenuga, and the former Comptroller General of Immigrations, the late Mrs. Chuka Nwizu. Also invited by the anti-graft agency were 10 other Nigerians, including a former Minister of Power and Steel, Mr. Ahmed Hamid, and the special advisor to the Niger State Governor, Alhaji Ahmed Dati. Ebebi, Bayelsa CJ inaugurates impeachment panel in secret. Fresh facts emerged on Monday afternoon that the Chief Judge of Bayelsa State, Mrs. Kate Abiri, had constituted a 7-member panel to investigate the allegations of gross misconduct against the Deputy Governor, Mr. Ebebi. Senate to screen new INEC Boss next week. The Chairman, Senate Committee on Industry, Senator Kamarudin Adedibu, has stated that the Senate will begin the screening of the Chairman-designate of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Atahiru Jega, immediately members resume from break on Tuesday next week. Daily Trust, Jonathan, greed responsible for Nigeria's backwardness. President Goodluck Jonathan yesterday identified greed of people in government and corruption as the greatest problems hindering the development of Nigeria since independence. Jonathan spoke yesterday in Abuja at the presidential retreat on the first 4 years implementation plan of Vision 2020 and public-private partnership framework for infrastructure development in Nigeria. EFCC accuses Ugbane Elumelu of stealing over 10 billion naira. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has accused Chairman House Committee on Power Ndudi Elumelu and his Senate counterpart Nicholas Yahaya Ugbane of embezzling over 10 billion naira. Elumelu and Ugbane are standing trial over an alleged 5.2 billion naira Rural Electrification Agency contract along with 7 other persons. And now next newspaper says, I am unmoved, says Bankole, as the ultimatum given to him by some members of the House of Representatives to resign or be disgraced out of office expires today. The Meji Bankole, the Speaker, says he is not moved by the renewed threat to his position. Mr. Bankole said the plot to remove him was normal, part of the challenges public office holders are usually confronted with, and that he had always prepared for it. Navy calls for dredging of Calabar Port. The shallow water channel of the Calabar seaport is preventing bigger vessels from sailing into the port and also hindering the Navy from effectively policing pirates in the high seas, the Eastern Command of the Nigerian Navy has said. Benjamin Acholonu, a rear admiral and flag officer commanding the Eastern Naval Command, called on the federal government to award contract for the dredging of the Calabar River, as that will enable large ships with heavy cargo get to the port. And now Daily Independent, I won't defy constitution to please Uwais, Jonathan. President Goodluck Jonathan clarified on Monday that his nomination of Atahiru Jega as Independent National Electoral Commission Chairman is in line with the law, despite the disappointment expressed by Electoral Reform Committee Chairman Mohammed Uwais. He said he would not go against the law in picking Jega and other INEC commissioners, no matter the good intentions of the ERC recommendations. Lagos bans Okada ride by pregnant women, school children. Lagos State Government has set July 1 for the full enforcement of road traffic laws and regulations guiding motorcycle taxi operation, and it will be illegal from that date for school children, pregnant women, and women with babies strapped on their backs to use this mode of transport. Now Nigerian Tribune, Andoaka salutes Jonathan's zeal about electoral reforms. Former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mike Andoaka, has commended President Goodluck Jonathan for his commitment to free and fair elections in 2011. The ex-AGF assured that People's Democratic Party would win the 2011 gubernatorial elections in Benue State, ruling out the emergence of any opposition party. And now politics, Vanguard newspaper. Don't distract Jonathan, PDP warns AC. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has warned the Action Congress not to distract President Goodluck Jonathan with comments that he was not serious about electoral reforms. 600 Edo LP members defect to PDP. Over 600 members of the Labour Party over the weekend defected to the People's Democratic Party in Uromi, Asian Northeast local government area of Edo State, the ancestral home of the former chairman of PDP Board of Trustees, Chief Tony Aneni. The next newspaper, Nwodo's choice will set PDP on path of recovery. The choice of Okwesileze Nwodo by the People's Democratic Party Board of Trustees as the next national chairman is an indication that the party now places merit and integrity in the choice of its leaders, a former National Publicity Secretary of the party, Emmanuel Ibeshi, has said. Mr. Ibeshi said in Abuja at the weekend that Mr. Nwodo stands out among other contenders for the chairmanship position and he will reposition the party. Business News, Punch newspaper, why $50 million World Bank project is slow in Nigeria. Project coordinator, World Bank assisted project in the Nigerian aviation sector, Alhaji Dauda Mohammed, has identified inadequate personnel and power as some of the factors affecting quick implementation of the bank's project in the country. Next newspaper, Nigeria foreign reserves fluctuate. Nigeria's foreign reserves have been fluctuating in the last 1 week as the Central Bank of Nigeria battles to sustain the value of the naira. The reserves peaked at $40.887 billion on May 12, its highest level in the last 1 month. Since then, the figure has recorded a steady decline, dropping to $37.540 billion on 8 June, about a month later. The figure rose by 2.21% the following day to close last week at $38.373 billion. Rising oil price helps budget. The price movement at the international crude oil market in recent times appears to have given the federal government some respite on its proposal to rejig the fundamentals of the 2010 budget appropriation. And now moving over to Sports Punch newspaper. Federal government passionate about Super Eagles, Jonathan. President Goodluck Jonathan on Monday said the federal government was passionate about the Super Eagles, charging them to strive to go beyond the first round of the World Cup in South Africa. Babayaro slams Eagles strikers, hails Enyama. Atlanta 1996 Olympics gold medalist Emmanuel Babayaro has blamed the Super Eagles attackers for the team's failure against Argentina in their Group B encounter on Saturday. He told the Punch newspaper correspondent on the telephone on Saturday that Enyama did a wonderful job against Argentina, especially stopping Lionel Messi on a number of occasions. And Aminu wants Nigeria to retain Lagerback. A former chairman of the Nigeria Football Association, Colonel Abdul Mumuni Aminu, has commended the Super Eagles manager Las Lagerback for giving the team a new spirit. He stressed that it was important to allow the coach spend a longer time in Nigeria to enable him to do a good job with the senior national team. We are condemned to beat Greece or Saze Yobo. The Super Eagles have said they are condemned to beat Greece in Thursday's Group B match to keep alive their World Cup hopes. Nigeria will later face South Korea on June 22. Vanguard newspaper, father of 3 dies watching Nigeria-Argentina match. Peter Agbowa, a resident of Ugbo Odogu, a suburb in Enugu, slumped and died while watching the Nigeria versus Argentina match on Saturday. Agbowa, 56, and father of 3, was said to have slumped from a chair when Argentina scored the lone goal of the encounter 6 minutes into the match. That was some patriotism there at stay. May his soul rest in peace. And with that, we've come to the end of this edition of Headlines Nigeria. Faithful Super Eagles fans, keep supporting our boys. Thanks for logging on.